The concept of BRICS first emerged in 2001 when economist Jim O'Neill referred to the four fastest growing economies of that time: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. The name BRICS is an acronym formed from the first letters of these countries. The organization officially came into being in 2009 with the inclusion of South Africa, forming a bloc of 5 members. On January 1, 2024, BRICS welcomed 4 new members: Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Ethiopia, bringing the total membership to 9 countries. This expansion has made the BRICS bloc increasingly powerful on the international stage. The growth is not only in numbers, but also in the diversity of economic and strategic fields. The countries in BRICS are not just economically strong, but also hold significant influence in areas such as politics, culture, and global security. Accordingly, some experts suggest that the robust development of BRICS could lead to major changes in the current world order. Just how powerful is BRICS? And could it surpass the US, the world's leading economy in the future? And here's Mason. Where Mason is, economic and social issues are analyzed with ease. Before diving into the main content, please note that the video below is compiled by me and my team from various sources. If you have any additions, feel free to share them in the comments below. Today, BRICS has become a bloc of countries with a combined population of over 3.5 billion people, accounting for approximately 44.5% of the global population. Notably, India and China contribute 80% of this population, giving BRICS an enormous potential market. This serves as a critical foundation for member nations to strengthen cooperation, boost trade development, and exert political influence. To build a robust organization, each BRICS member country contributes its own unique strengths. For example, Brazil stands out for its abundant natural resources, particularly oil, energy, and agricultural products. Russia is a powerhouse in oil and gas, while China serves as the world's largest manufacturing hub and has the leading economy in production. India excels in information technology and boasts a large young labor force. South Africa is both the financial center and economic leader of Africa. This combination of nations excelling in diverse fields has created the collective strength of BRICS. With the addition of resource-rich nations like Iran and the UAE, BRICS now controls a significant portion of global oil production. Egypt and Ethiopia, 2 of Africa's most populous nations with over 100 million people each, further bolster BRICS' economic and political influence. The inclusion of Egypt also brings the Suez Canal, a critical trade route through which approximately 10% of global goods pass annually, into the bloc's strategic assets. Given these strengths and immense potential, BRICS is becoming an increasingly prominent player in the global economic and political landscape. Now let's compare BRICS, the US, and the G7 to see how these rivals stack up against each other. Economically, while BRICS has not yet surpassed the US and the G7 in terms of total GDP, its rapid growth and expanding scale are gradually narrowing the gap. When it comes to per capita income, BRICS nations still lag significantly behind the G7. However, in terms of purchasing power parity, PPP, BRICS overtook the G7 in 2023, underscoring that BRICS' strength lies not only in GDP, but also in its ability to generate value and purchasing power globally. In recent years, BRICS has achieved remarkable progress. The bloc has made steady strides in strengthening trade relationships among members, expanding development projects, and enhancing financial cooperation. One of its significant achievements is the establishment of the New Development Bank, NDB, in 2015. The NDB not only provides development loans to member nations, but also offers alternative financial solutions to Western institutions such as the IMF and World Bank. In addition, BRICS has established a foreign currency reserve fund of up to $100 billion to help members address short-term liquidity shortages. This groundbreaking initiative allows member countries to reduce their reliance on Western financial institutions and strengthen their financial foundations. Moreover, the increase in trade among BRICS nations is a bright spot. For instance, trade volume between Russia and India reached a record $55 billion in 2023, demonstrating robust economic cooperation within the bloc, despite ongoing border conflicts between China and India. At this point, many of you might be wondering, with all these achievements, why hasn't BRICS surpassed the US and the G7? Well, it's not that simple. Although BRICS holds immense potential for future growth, the reality is that the bloc still faces numerous challenges and hurdles before it can rise to the top of global influence. BRICS members are primarily emerging economies heavily reliant on agriculture and raw material production. This limits their ability to compete with G7 nations, which have advanced industrial and service-based economies. G7 countries are recognized as global leaders in finance and industry, while BRICS nations are still transitioning toward more diversified economic structures. G7 nations dominate global finance through institutions such as the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, WB. These institutions allow G7 members to exert considerable influence over international financial policies. Notably, G7 countries are key players in the Paris Club, a group of creditor nations that provide financial services such as loan restructuring, debt relief, and deferred payments to developing countries in distress. Although some BRICS members, like Russia and South Africa, participate in the Paris Club, the bloc is generally seen as borrowers rather than lenders. This dynamic reflects a fundamental reality. While BRICS has significant growth potential, it has yet to establish the financial clout that G7 nations possess. Despite these challenges, the progress BRICS has made, such as the establishment of the Peidu New Development Bank, NDB, and its growing intra-bloc trade, highlights its determination to create a more balanced global financial and economic system. However, the road ahead remains steep as BRICS seeks to solidify its position as a major global player. To address its challenges, BRICS has taken several steps to overcome its weaknesses. One of the most notable strategies is reducing reliance on the US dollar in international transactions. Recently, BRICS has begun planning for a unified BRICS currency and an independent payment system that bypasses the dollar. This would allow member nations to trade directly using their own currencies. The introduction of a BRICS currency aims to diminish the dollar's influence in international trade, especially in key sectors like energy and oil. For example, the growing use of the Chinese yuan in trade between China and Russia demonstrates how BRICS countries are actively seeking to reduce dollar dependence. However, there are significant hurdles to achieving these goals. Dollar dominance in reserves. The US dollar still constitutes a large portion of global foreign exchange reserves, including those of many BRICS nations, particularly developing ones. Shifting away from the dollar will require a prolonged process and major adjustments in international financial policies. Dependence on Western financial institutions. Many BRICS countries continue to rely on loans from Western financial institutions. Building a fully independent financial system is a complex task that involves developing robust alternatives to existing global systems like the IMF and SWIFT. Another solution proposed by BRICS is to expand its membership, which would broaden the bloc's influence and market reach. Interest from countries, particularly in Southeast Asia and other regions, highlights BRICS' growing appeal to emerging economies. Expansion would not only provide BRICS with a larger market, but also create opportunities to strengthen its role in international economic and trade affairs. BRICS's efforts to diversify its financial and trade systems and expand its membership signal its ambition to become a counterbalance to Western-led economic institutions. While these initiatives face significant challenges, they also underscore the bloc's determination to reshape the global economic landscape. However, similar to the challenge of dethroning the US dollar, expanding BRICS is no easy feat. Each member nation has its own interests and priorities, making consensus on admitting new members difficult to achieve. This lack of agreement could lead to fragmentation and weaken the bloc in the future if effective policies are not implemented to manage these differences. In summary, while BRICS has made significant strides in developing independent financial and trade mechanisms, it still faces numerous challenges in competing with the G7 and reshaping the global financial order. Differences among members, internal power struggles, and domestic economic and political issues will be key factors determining the future of BRICS. However, if the bloc can overcome these barriers, it is poised to play an increasingly significant role in creating a fairer global financial and economic system. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to support Mason. See you in the next video.